So hey everyone, so we're still talking about drivers. Let's talk about location and center of gravity on a driver and what it's going to do for us. I think sometimes over the years, again because of promises that weren't necessarily always altogether true, let's clarify a subject of that because now with the adjustability in drivers nowadays, I don't know that there's some misconceptions out there as far as what it does, where it massively influences the flight of the golf ball. So at that point, let's just clarify something. Your club path will have an awful lot more to do with what happens with the spin of the golf ball, whether it's a fade spin or a draw spin or something along those lines, than it will just hitting a square shot to the right or left of the middle of the golf club, okay? So here's a picture of some club heads that you can see at the very top there, where the ball is being struck off of the heel and a ball that's being struck off of the toe. This is relative the center of gravity on both of them, and you'll notice that each one of them will depict a spin that will go back towards the middle of the golf club, okay? So that's called gear effect, okay? Gear effect is a very influential thing on making the ball either spin to the right or to the left. And if you notice below that, that's on a horizontal plane, and in a vertical plane you have the same type of influence, which is here's the center of gravity here. This is a ball struck above, and this is a ball struck below the line. Okay, so all of those things are going to have an influence on the ball, whether it's going to spin, excessively high or low. So again, when you have a gear effect that's let's call it east and west of the center line, it's going to have a tendency to spin back towards its middle. But when you have a north and south, a ball that's struck below the center of gravity is going to have a tendency to spin up excessively. But because of loft and location or center of gravity, you would figure, again, in the theory, that it would actually start to sort of swoop down. However, due to the designs and the fact that you do have loft, a ball that's struck above the line, it kind of negates that downward spinning. Again, because of design, because of what you do with a golf club, do you hit up on it on average? And lots of other things are complicated deliveries to the club. So the center of gravity is a very important thing. But so there's lots of companies that are out there now selling, hey, you can control this driver better, you can, move these weights around. It may not be near enough, depending on how hard you come from the outside of the ball or really hard from the inside of the ball to influence which way the ball is going. It's an important thing to understand that when you're trying to control a driver, don't put too much of the emphasis on the design. There's a lot more to that. How much the driver weighs, how much the head weighs, what's the proportion of mass. Again, we're going to go further into this stuff as time goes on. But this is important to understand. The center of gravity is a very important thing when it's tied together with a design that works for you, okay? Don't put too much into it to try to bail you out on things that it just doesn't really do, okay? It's important to get out there, work on your swing, and make sure that your path is not, again, excessively inside-outside. That's going to be a bigger deal than worrying too much about loft and location of center of gravity when it comes to hitting a driver better. If you have trouble with that, consult somebody that can teach you, or however you can make an improvement. And again, putting too much emphasis on the equipment at that point may yield not much. Got to get that face square to where the ball's trying to go, and that makes a big difference, okay? Hey, listen, again, that's a real quick 101 on locations of center of gravity. Any questions, again, feel free, reach out on any one of the social outlets, and I'll see you guys really soon. Take care.